latest model, the 08, is actually a pretty intriguing package. It brings a 90Hz refresh rate screen, fast charging, and a camera with a quad-Bayer Sony sensor, all for around $250. Is the 08 enough to become a mainstream hit? Let's find out in our full review. The Infinix 08 is a unique-looking device. Its camera module has a distinct diamond-shaped arrangement, and the back panel's two-tone geometric pattern adds more to the gemstone-like theme. The device is built of plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap. It seems sturdy and well put together. The glossy finish does attract plenty of smudges and fingerprints though. On the front, the 08 has a 6.85-inch IPS LCD screen with a 1080p resolution, reasonably thin bezels, and a fast 90Hz refresh rate. There is a rather large punch hole cutout for the dual selfie cam. It's integrated into the UI quite well. There are even custom animations that turn the hole into more of a cool centerpiece. The screen itself is unfortunately not as great as you might expect. Scrolling the UI does look smoother than it would on a 60Hz panel, but there is noticeable ghosting and smearing, especially in text. It's even more apparent if there are moving lines on the screen, such as in this dedicated test. It's not just that though, the colors of the display aren't very accurate. Overall, they're on the bluish side, and there's no white point adjustment to remedy that. The max screen brightness is underwhelming for an LCD too. We measured 450 nits with a white pattern, hard to recommend for a good experience outdoors. So overall, it appears Infinix has used a cheaper LCD panel here, and the high refresh rate is pushing its limits. Moving on, the Infinix 08 can be woken up and unlocked via the capacitive fingerprint reader located on the side. That doubles as a power button. It's very snappy and accurate. For audio, the 08 has a single bottom firing loudspeaker. It isn't anything special. It scored only an average score in our loudness test, and the sound quality is about what you'd expect at this price point. There is a 3.5mm jack for connectivity with standard headphones, and with them plugged in you have support for FM radio. Plus, storage is expandable on top of the 128 gigs built in. The Infinix 08's UI is the overly customized XOS 7, based on Android 10. This is one of the heaviest and busiest skins we've encountered in a while. The phone comes with a crazy amount of applications and bloatware preloaded, for a variety of different functions. It's not immediately intuitive what they are for, and some of them are redundant. Plus they require plenty of permissions in order to run too, which could be a security concern. On top of that, there are advertisements all over the place, which hit you from the moment you set up the phone. At least you're able to uninstall the majority of these apps, and after that the UI experience is much smoother. There are some proprietary features which are actually rather useful, like the side panel. Don't expect a gaming powerhouse, but you can get a smooth experience out of most modern games, and you can achieve higher frame rates on games that support that. The UI works fine too, if you get past the bloated software experience. Powering the device is a decent-sized 4500 mAh battery, and battery life is awesome here. In our tests, the 08 scored an endurance rating of 116 hours with the screen set to 90Hz. And turning the screen refresh rate down to 60 resulted in a higher score of 124 hours. It's not so often that you see fast charging on a budget phone, but the 08 comes with a 33-watt charger in the box. With it, we were able to charge the phone from a dead battery to 65% in half an hour, which is really nice. Now on to the 08's quad camera setup. There's a 64-megapixel quad-Bayer main camera, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide cam which has autofocus and can take macro shots, and a couple of 2-megapixel cameras which might help with depth sensing. Shots from the main camera come out in 16 megapixels, and they are unimpressive. They're soft and a bit grainy, with rather narrow dynamic range, and the colors are more desaturated than what we like to see. Is applied. At 2 times, the results aren't too bad, as long as you don't look too closely. 8-megapixel photos from the ultra-wide cam look quite different from those of the main camera. They're still soft and grainy, but here you get a more vibrant color rendition. Dynamic range is more limited than on the main cam, but at least the distortion correction works well. And do a great job in low light. These photos come out soft, dark, and noisy. Plus, there is no night mode available.